All right, man. Good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful black billionaires. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street to present you guys the Money and Power Show. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified global financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, The Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. Got a lot to cover here this morning. Got a lot of news in the crypto space. This is a hot topic, and we're just taking the time to educate ourselves and learn more, so that we can earn more, in a sense, quite possibly in this space or any other space that you choose to bring wealth to your family and leave an inheritance to your children's children. We're going to start with our daily motivation, which is which is coming from the book Daily Motivations for African American Success by Mr. Dennis Kimbrough. And today's title is Your Cup Runneth Over. Your Cup Runneth Over. Nathaniel Bronner, senior entrepreneur, says this, and I quote, "Success is when your cup runneth over and your saucer too. Success is when your cup runneth over and your saucer too. Imagine yourself standing before an abundant waterfall. What would limit you from taking your wealth of water from that waterfall? The size of your container, right? If you had a cup, you'd have a cup's worth of water. If you had a gallon jug, you have a gallon's worth of water. If you had a barrel, you have a barrel worth of water. If you had a tanker truck, you could supply water, and in this case, wealth, to all of your friends and family. What if the same were true of all the attributes of wealth? What if your ability to experience peace of mind, health, happiness, abundance, prosperity, love, and opportunity were limited only by your ability to receive? What if each of these qualities were available to you in infinite supply, and the only thing limiting you was the size of your container? Yet most of us don't think that way. We believe that if we have a cup, only a cup's worth of water ever dribbles over the waterfall. This is an illusion, a highly convincing illusion, but an illusion just the same. If we wanted to expand our ability to experience peace of mind, health, happiness, abundance, prosperity, love, and opportunity, we must expand the size of our mind first. You create your container by seeing yourself already in possession of what you want. You enlarge the container by stating positively and affirming, I am healthy, I am prosperous, I am happy. As the container is enlarged, you will inherit the wealth of life. As your container enlarges, you will inherit the wealth of life. And here is our affirmation of the day from Dr. Dennis Kimbrough. Repeat after me. Today, I will dig my well before I'm thirsty. I will affirm what I want. Today, I will dig my well before I'm thirsty. I will affirm what I want. I always like to start the day with a little motivation so we get our mind right as we prepare to learn and get into this thing that we call learning this thing called cryptocurrency. So let me see if I can see where I'm going to start today. I mean, it's so much. I want so much to cover. I guess I'll start with some news. I'll start with some news. Then we'll do that. So let me pull some stuff down so you guys can see. Today we'll be covering ICP, or Internet Computer, which is a new, I guess you could say it's fairly new cryptocurrency, but we'll be looking at some other stuff first, and then we'll get into that in the second half, I guess you could say, of the show. I did want to make you guys aware of something. I think it's important for us to stay abreast of the news that's out. This is from Coinbase blog. I do a lot of my, I guess you could say, a lot of my research, a lot of my stuff on Coinbase. So I'm a big Coinbase fan. But there's a new crypto that'll be launching on Coinbase called Solana. I will be covering Solana next week, learning what it is. It was supposed to be added in May. It still hasn't been added yet. So I think there have been some issues, but I figure we'll cover it anyway because it's a pretty important coin. So we'll be covering this next week. But anyways, just they give you a little brief breakdown of what Solana is: the decentralized computing platform that uses SOL to pay for transactions. Solana aims to improve blockchain scalability by using a combination of proof of stake consensus and so-called proof of history. So this will be a new addition to our vocabulary, proof of history. As a result, Solana claims to be able to support 50,000 transactions per second without sacrificing decentralization. Now, what you'll also find, guys, is that Coinbase, they have two different platforms. You have Coinbase.com and you have your Coinbase Pro. These new coins are added to Coinbase Pro for trading purposes first, and then they decide whether they're going to add them to Coinbase.com for those that may not trade. Then they also brought out some news that came out. I believe this came out just yesterday. You got 3 new tokens that'll be added to Coinbase Pro. We have, and I'll make sure this is big enough as well. We have Gitcoin, Enzyme Coin, and AMP. All right, Gitcoin, Enzyme Coin, and AMP. They'll actually be available. Looks like they'll be available to start trading on Coinbase Pro tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. And it's all based upon, it's all based upon demand for them, it seems. But let's talk about, again, they break down a little bit what these coins are. We'll be covering these coins next week. Gitcoin is an Ethereum token that enables community governance of the Gitcoin platform. The platform is designed to fund and coordinate open source development by novel means such as quadratic funding. As of June 2021, Gitcoin has facilitated over 21 million in grants and bounties for open source developers. Enzyme, MLM, or Melon, formerly known as Melon Protocol, is an Ethereum token that powers Enzyme, a protocol that aims to facilitate on-chain asset management for the DeFi ecosystem. Melanin allows users to build, share, and explore DeFi investment strategies called vaults, while filtering by historical performance and risk profiles. Melanin is used to pay for various functions throughout the vault creation process and investment lifecycle. And then AMP. AMP is I think this is probably the most popular of the 3. AMP is an Ethereum token that aims to collateralize payments on the Flexa network, making them instant and secure. If a BTC or Ethereum payment fails due to unconfirmed or long transaction times, the AMP collateral can instead be liquidated to cover losses, while the vendor receives payment in fiat, potentially providing greater assurances to both parties. That sounds very interesting. That sounds like some type of crypto or decentralized PayPal or something like that. That's interesting. So anyway, we'll be learning about Solano, Gitcoin, Enzyme, AMP, and then I'll choose something else. You guys can let me know in the comments what you guys might be interested in learning more about as we get into scheduling next week. Next week in crypto. Because I do believe that, again, one of my premises is I believe I want to understand what I'm investing in, which is the reason why why we have this show. Many people are interested in crypto, but not everyone is learning about crypto. And so I hope to bring that value to you, right? To learn what you don't know, to basically hopefully to better understand and then make better decisions. Now, here's the big news from yesterday or this morning. El Salvador approves the Bitcoin law giving BTC status as legal tender. This is huge news. We call this a domino. Typically, when one domino falls, you begin to see dominoes fall in other places. So we have a lot of different countries on tab. Paraguay, a lot of I guess you call it South American countries. But with 62 favorable votes, the Legislative Assembly of El Salvador has just approved the Bitcoin law presented by the president of the country, Nayib Bukele, a few hours ago. So it only took 2 hours for this thing from the time that they presented it to the time that it was approved. And this is huge news. This is just huge news, and we'll talk about why. But with this, El Salvador becomes the first country in the world to recognize Bitcoin as a legal tender, and the period for all institutions in the country to adapt to a new era. Everybody put in comments, so adapt to a new era. Now, what we've been talking about, many of us crypto enthusiasts, I guess you could say, is we've been talking about this thing called the future of finance. We've been talking about evolution. We've been talking about, basically adapting to, what's kind of coming down the pike anyway. And I don't know, I think it's very difficult for anyone to at this point to not recognize that Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, blockchain is a part of our future. And I think that's a very, very difficult thing to argue against at this point, because now it's being adopted. Bitcoin being a cryptocurrency is being adopted as legal tender. So it's adapt to a new era in which Bitcoin circulates as currency among Salvadorans begins. Right? A period for all institutions in the country to adapt to this new era in which Bitcoin circulates. Now, what does that mean? That means that all institutions who accept Bitcoin as payment for their products and their services. That's what this really means for El Salvador. And for those that, that this opens up the door for people that might be wanting to do business in El Salvador, who may want to transact, may want to trade or transact in Bitcoin, international trade, so to speak, as well. But this now sets a precedent where every institution in this country must adapt to accepting Bitcoin as payment for their products and services, and it's being written into law. Huge step for El Salvador. I mean, we're going to continue to follow this story, but we call this a domino effect because what inevitably happens is once one domino falls, you begin to see other dominoes fall. And this is something. I'm surprised it happened so fast. I mean, I'm like, wow, you submit a law, and I guess maybe because I'm in America, it works different probably in El Salvador. But yeah. So let's see what they're saying here about the key aspects to the new Bitcoin law approved in El Salvador. The new law recognizes Bitcoin as legal tender, unrestricted by liberatory power, unlimited in any transaction and in any title that natural or legal public or private persons want to perform. This puts Bitcoin on par with the US dollar as a currency of free use and mandatory acceptance throughout the territory. Mandatory acceptance throughout the territory. Likewise, it stipulates that the exchange rate will fluctuate according to the free market. Whew! Exchange rate. So there's an exchange rate for your dollar or whatever they use. Maybe they use a peso. I'm not quite sure what they use in El Salvador other than the dollar, and Bitcoin. According to the free market, it also orders the creation of a special trust in the Development Bank of El Salvador to ensure the immediate exchange between both currencies. So now they got to go to work. I mean, the banks got to go to work. All the merchants and marketplace got to go to work because now it's mandatory to be accepted. The new law also says prices must be expressed in Bitcoin, and this cryptocurrency must be compulsorily accepted. Compulsorily. I can't even say that word. Accepted throughout the national territory, with an exception for those remote areas of people with no access to the necessary means to make electronic transactions. Likewise, financial operations of Bitcoin, such as trading, will be exempt from capital gains taxes since Bitcoin is a legal tender. That is huge. That financial operations of Bitcoin, such as trading, would be exempt from capital gains taxes since Bitcoin is a legal tender. Wow. So as I've been saying, guys, this whole space is very, very fascinating to me, and we're starting to see dominoes fall. We're starting to see adoption, and this is worldwide, guys. It's not just in America. I mean, we got to move beyond. We got to start looking at global stuff that's happening. So shout out to El Salvador, their president, and and making this move. I just think what do you guys think about it? I mean, I really 70% of Salvadoran citizens do not have bank accounts. Okay, look at this. We got coming in. They use colons. Okay, some of y'all know about El Salvador. Okay, fantastic, right? Wow. So new stuff happening here. So here's the thing. Here's what I've been saying to myself. I don't know what you guys have been saying to yourself, but I've been saying to myself, man, hey, if the world is starting to accept this thing, why wouldn't I? Right? And so what I'm pressed to do for myself is to put myself in position to make sure that I set myself up, I set my family up, I set my community up for the future. Not for the present, not from the past, but for the future. And yet we still have very few of us in my community who are even aware or even talking about or have really even dove into this thing called cryptocurrency. And these are the type of things that are happening right before our eyes. So I'm just hoping that we wake up and we smell the roses and we begin to, shout out to you guys. So hopefully hit that like button, the share button, all that stuff. But this is information that hopefully we can all use. Now, I wanted to share something else with you guys before we get into ICP. I guess we'll spend our first little half just talking about news and stuff. Found another little cool thing as well that I find valuable, especially for traders and investors and stuff like that. It's the crypto fear and greed index. Now, everybody putting down, so fear and greed. These are the two emotions that drive a market, and we see we can call this a volatility index as well, but we call it sentiment. And we find a sentiment analysis or an index in the stock market. And one of my mentors, as far as it relates to investing, Mr. Warren Buffett, tells us to be fearful when others are greedy, and to be greedy when others are fearful. So understanding the sentiment in the market for in the crypto market can help us to determine, is the market fearful or is the market greedy at this particular time, and quite possibly give us an opportunity to do the opposite of what everybody else is doing, because typically they're doing broke stuff and we're doing rich stuff. But anyway, each day we analyze emotions and sentiments from different sources and crunch them into one simple number, the fear and greed index for Bitcoin and other large cryptocurrencies. And so here's the Bitcoin fear and greed index. And I think this is the most important one because that's the largest, makes up 40% of the market, which we'll take a look at in just a second. And so today, as of June 9th, we're seeing extreme fear in the market. And you know what I'm doing? I'm looking to be greedy. I'm looking to find some stuff to buy while everybody else is selling. Fear typically means selling. Greed typically means buying. Now, what I find interesting as well is that when we get up here to extreme greed, that's typically when the market is hitting an all-time high. That's typically when everybody's interested in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, or whatever the asset is at that particular time. But then when we start get over here to extreme fear, that's when nobody's interested in it. That's when it's not big time news. It's not on the mainstream news. And that's actually the time you probably want to be looking at a particular asset or a particular investment. So we are currently, we see that today we're, as of whenever this thing was 12 hours, I think it'd be updated in 12 hours. Now we're at 14. Yesterday was at 13. Last week was at 23. But last month we was at 72. So notice this: at 72, people were trying to get into crypto when it was pressing highs, and this, they're hoping that it goes higher. And lo and behold, I guess you say Bitcoin, it dropped, and now we're into a space where you actually it's probably a good time to buy, and a lot of people are no longer interested in it. This is the difference between an investor and a consumer. A consumer follows the crowd, an investor does the opposite. Let me just say that for the people in the back. That's right. A consumer just follows the crowd. It does whatever the media is telling them to do, whatever they heard Uncle Johnny and them talk about, right? A consumer is doing what the rest of the crowd is doing. An investor is doing the complete opposite. Okay? Complete opposite. Okay? And you probably heard this before. If you just simply do the opposite of what everybody else is doing, you'll probably be in a good position. So here's a plot of this over time index. I just put it at, I think I got it at 7 days or whatever. It's past 7 days. Here's the past month, right? And here's the past. So we saw we was last month we was up here at 70. We was over here the past 3 months. We saw this thing hit all the way up to 80. This is kind of like an RSI relative strength. So I'm really liking this little graph here for crypto. So let's talk about what this is. So why do we measure fear and greed? Why do we measure sentiment? Why do we measure how people are looking at or paying attention to the market itself? Well, the crypto market behavior is very emotional, right? People tend to get greedy when the market is rising, which results in fear of missing out, or FOMO. Everybody put in console FOMO. FOMO, fear of missing out. They think they're missing something. Also, people often sell their coins in irrational reaction to seeing red numbers. When they see red, they want to sell. Oh, I don't want to lose no money. All right. With our fear and greed index, we try to save you from your own emotional overreactions. Here are two simple assumptions. Extreme fear can be a sign that investors are too worried. That could be a buying opportunity. When investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. Therefore, we analyze the current sentiment of the Bitcoin market and crunch the numbers into a simple meter from 0 to 100. 0 means extreme fear, while 100 means extreme greed. See below for further information on our data source. So let's find out here. There's data source. So we are gathering data from the 5 following sources. Each data point is valued the same as the day before in order to visualize a meaningful progress in sentiment change of the crypto market. That's the sentiment, means the emotion of the people. First of all, the current index is for Bitcoin only. We offer separate indices for large altcoins soon because a big part of its volatility of it is the volatility of the coin price. But let's list all the different factors we are including in the current index. So first is volatility. So 25% of this graph of this information comes from volatility. We're measuring the current volatility in max drawdowns of Bitcoin and compare it to the corresponding average values of the last 30 days and 90 days. We argue that an unusual rise in volatility is a sign of a fearful market. Market momentum and volume. This is the amount of people that people are trading and what they're trading on. Also, we're measuring the current volume and market momentum, again, in comparison with the last 30 to 90-day average values, and put those two values together. Generally, when we see high buying volumes in a positive market on a daily basis, we conclude that the market acts overly greedy or too bullish. Here's this. Look at this. Social media is 15% of their data sources. While our Reddit sentiment analysis is still not in the live index, we're still experimenting some market-related keywords in the text processing algorithm. Our Twitter analysis is running. There we gather and count posts with various hashtags for each coin. Publicly, we show only those for Bitcoin and check how fast and how many reactions they receive in certain time frames. And a usual high interaction rate results in a growing public interest in the coin, and in our eyes, it corresponds to greedy market behavior. Oh, somebody said check my connection. 1 second. I'm not quite sure. Am I coming in clear? Okay, 1 second. Audio. That looks like I should be. I think I'm fine. I don't know. I'm not quite sure, guys. We'll keep going. You guys can see this on the screen. All right, so hopefully I'm coming in fine. I think I'll check my my speaker. I thought to be okay. So social media, who knew that they were using data from social media, right, to crunch down to give us a part of a graph, and using social media to basically determine interest from the people, right? This is very interesting. Surveys, which is currently paused. I don't know why they would be using surveys. It's too long. Take too long. Dominance. The dominance of a coin resembles the market cap share of the whole crypto market, especially for Bitcoin. We think that a rise in Bitcoin dominance is caused by a fear and thus a reduction of too speculative altcoin investments, since Bitcoin is becoming more and more the safe haven of crypto. On the other side, when Bitcoin dominance shrinks, people are getting more greedy by investing in more risky altcoins, dreaming of their chance of the next big bull run. Anyhow, analyzing the dominance for a coin other than Bitcoin, you could argue the other way around, since more interest in an altcoin may conclude a bullish greedy behavior on that specific coin. Now notice this. So we'll talk about dominance today. They're saying that, hey, when dominance of Bitcoin rises, basically they're saying that that means that there's typically some type of fear with the altcoins, all the other coins. And so money is being moved into Bitcoin as a safe haven because Bitcoin is considered to be kind of digital gold. When we see Bitcoin dominance shrink, that's typically saying that, hey, we're seeing money move from Bitcoin or out of Bitcoin into more risky altcoins as we look for opportunities for those particular coins to grow and to increase in value. And then they use trends, Google trends, related requires and crunch those numbers, especially the change in search volume as well as recommended other currently popular searches. So this is all data, guys, that a lot of us are just putting out there as we might search for stuff, look for stuff. Just know that this stuff is this is why data is so valuable. And this particular site, I'm just like, wow. Wow. So you could, I probably want to, we have a self-updating image. This would be cool. I think I want to add this to my website, put this in so people can see this figure on the Black Billionaires Club. Here's a fixed one that you could embed into, your website as well. So they're making this stuff available. It's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. I guess there's a widget. Since iOS 4 widgets are available, and that is great, with the Scribble app, it is possible to create standalone widgets without the need to create corresponding app. I don't know nothing about this. Oh, I guess this is just I don't know what this is. We have created a widget for the fear ingredient so you can always keep track of the current market situation. So there's a, oh, what? Hold on a second. I can add this to my phone? That's what it's like. Oh, it's a widget for my phone. Oh, this is pretty cool. To use this widget, you need to first install a free scriptable app from Scriptable app. Copy widget code to clipboard. Okay, so I can add this to my phone. There's an API. Okay, so you guys, this is something that can be used in your website, your phone. If you're creating something around crypto, whatever the case may be. But we'll just come and look at this stuff every morning and see where we're at. I think that'll be pretty cool for us to do. So anyway, we have a fear ingredient index. You're saying I'm getting a lot of feedback on my voice. Man, I don't know what to do about this. Let me try to, it's coming in staticky. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can switch my audio and then come back. So let's try this. Sorry. There we go. So hopefully this fixes it. All right. So now let's, I was on the wrong one. Okay. What about now? How am I coming in now? Man, I'm on my snowball now. I was on my web speaker. What about now? How am I coming in now? Hopefully I just changed my speaker to the right one. It's clear now. Okay, thanks so much. All right, thanks so much for letting me know. I thought I checked it this morning. At any rate, so here's some tools, I guess, that could be useful to you guys. Obviously, big news has happened as well, and then we have some other news about coins that are dropping on the Coinbase platform. Now, let's take a look here and see at the market. Cryptocurrency. We have 10,300 cryptos that are tokens that's out in circulation at this point that have been created. We see we're at a 1.52 trillion market cap. We have Bitcoin, which is 42% of the market. Ethereum, which is 19% of the market, representing 61% of the market. We have seen Bitcoin as high as about 70%. So when we start talking about dominance, that's what they're saying. They're saying, 41%, less than 50% for Bitcoin kind of gives me the indication, I'm not quite sure what it does for you, that there's a lot, that more money is moving into these alternative coins. Anything other than Bitcoin is considered an altcoin. So we have more money moving into or being represented by the altcoins. Now, this could be a little bit, it's still relative because it's a percentage. So it doesn't really matter how much money is in the market, but we start to see more money flow into the alternative coins as people are looking for, opportunities for their money to grow from small to big as we look at small cap to large cap, so to speak. So that's very interesting. But today, I wanted to cover ICP, which was recently released in May, I believe. And I'm going to do my best to make sense of this, although I really need some of these videos that we're going to be able to see, but I don't think that they're going to play because I was having trouble trying to play the videos the other day. So let me come over here to Coinbase, and I think it'll be easier for me to get the ICP here. Now, what's interesting about ICP or Internet Computer, everybody put in the comments below ICP, is that when it released or when they went public, so to speak, they raised a lot of money in a short amount of time, and they just bumped up. I mean, they just went straight up to, I think it was, let me see if I can find it. This thing is moving slow. That's 1 month. Yeah, it bumped up here. Look at this. It got all the way up. I'm trying to get to it. Anyway, it was a 700. It bumped all the way up to $750 on May 10th. Now think about this for a second. Like, this is why, like, even with Gitcoin, Enzyme Coin, Solano, all that stuff, I'm going to wait, probably 3 weeks before I even invest in it if it hits this exchange. This thing jumped all the way up to $750 on May 10th. A month later, it's below $100. So those people that jumped in this thing thinking it was going to keep going higher and higher, right? How are they feeling right now when it comes to their money? Same thing happened when we talk about coin, which is the Coinbase went public as well. Same thing kind of happened. People are greedy about it. Even I was about where the potential of this thing could go, but that thing dropped and people, have foreseeably lost a lot of money. I would be sick if I came over here and I invested $700 in this thing, thinking this thing going to $1,400, $1,500, $2,000, whatever, and then now I'm sitting up here with less than, with a loss of, I don't know, 80% of my investment is lost, currently lost, and where it's sitting at right now. So, but also I would say, just know that, hey, at $81, at one point in time, this thing had a value or had a price of $750. And so we'll talk about today, why that is. How could something jump up so fast, but then jump up so fast and then drop so fast as well? And it all comes down to, again, sentiment. Extremely greedy people thinking they caught the next big thing, and it could still be the next big thing. But maybe they just bought it at the wrong time. Maybe they just bought it at the wrong time. Yeah, it raised a lot of money in a little bit of time. We'll be talking about ICP when we get back from the break. All right, guys, man, check out the Black Bazaar by simply going to the website, theblackbazaar.com. Shop black with us, do business with us, have Afrocentric home decor, personal care products like toothpaste and stuff like that, and also Black art-inspired gifts. You can check us out by simply going to the website, theblackbazaar.com. That's right, theblackbazaar.com. So let's get into this thing, man. Internet Computer here on the Money and Power Show. All right, so we got someone here, man, clearing out. ICP raised a lot of money, a little bit of time. $750 a month ago, lost $100. Sentiment plays a role on when this coin value is up really high, then falls really quick. Yeah, sentiment is really key in this space, man. That's where a lot of the volatility comes from. When we talk about volatility, ups and downs in crypto, it really is sparked from sentiment. So anyway, we have ICP as Internet Computer. I mean, the name itself may help us out. But anyway, it's $81 per coin right now. As I said, at one point it was $750 per coin. It's got a $10.1 billion market cap. It's the 32 most held coin on as far as popularity on Coinbase. I think we saw it was the 11th largest coin as it relates to market cap is concerned. I mean, $10.1 billion in a month is pretty strong as it relates to the money that is flowing in this thing. And they have a circulating supply of 124. We'll go over to coin market cap to get a little bit more. But also notice this. This is one thing I really like about Coinbase. Ever since 5 o'clock this morning, we see a lot of buying activity on this coin, and we see a lot of buying, period. I put out something yesterday to let people know, man, here's what I'm seeing as it relates to, although the market is down, it seems like a lot of money was flowing into the market, giving me the indication that soon the market will be recovering or it will be going up. And so I was able to make a little bit of money, although the market is still kind of down. So before I get into, here's a brief summary of Internet Computer. It's a utility token that allows users to participate in and govern the Internet Computer blockchain network. The network aims to help developers create websites, enterprise IT systems, internet services and DeFi applications by installing their code directly on the public internet. Dominic, who is the owner of this thing, he calls it an extension. He wants to extend the internet, what we currently have as the internet, and basically, I would say, decentralize it in a sense. ICP can also be staked or converted into cycles that can be used to power computation for dApps and traditional applications. So let's go over to CoinMarketCap. And I mean, it's a lot of cool stuff, man, with this internet computer. It doesn't look like they have a maximum supply. That's cool, all that good stuff. Let's see if we can get a little bit better understanding of what internet computer is. Over here, I like to use this little section here. Now they have a lot. It's just a lot here, guys. So trying to break this down, internet computer is the world's first blockchain that runs at web speed with unbounded capacity. It also represents the third major blockchain innovation alongside Bitcoin and Ethereum. A blockchain computer that scales smart contract computation and data, runs them at web speed, processes and stores data efficiently, and provides powerful software frameworks to developers. By making this possible, the internet computer enables the complete reimagination of software, providing a revolutionary new way to build tokenized internet services, pan-industry platforms, decentralized financial systems, and even traditional enterprise systems and websites. This project was founded in October 2016 by Dominic Williams and attracted notable interest from the crypto community. Dfinity, which is the company behind Internet Computer, raised a total of $121 million from contributors such as Andreessen Horowitz, Polychain Capital, SV Angel, Aspect Ventures, Electric Capital, Zero EX, Scalar Capital, Multicoin Capital, and very notable early Ethereum supporters. So that means it got a lot of institutional money behind this. A lot of big boys are behind this project. In 2018, over 50,000 registered participants received ICP utility token in an airdrop. On December 18th of 2020, Dfinity launched an alpha mainnet of the internet computer and a final step towards decentralization. On May 10th, 2021, Dfinity launched the internet computer into the public domain. This major milestone means that the internet now functions as a decentralized global computer, marked by the release of all the internet computer source code into the public domain, as well as ICP utility token allows tens of thousands of community members to govern the internet computer network. Now, what is all this saying? Okay, well, source code into a public domain so everybody can see the source code, right? Nothing hidden there. But then it's governed by the people, So obviously we talked about the founder, Dominic Williams. He's a chief scientist at Dfinity. He is a crypto theoretician responsible for inventing threshold relay, probabilistic slot consensus, and other novel crypto techniques. He's a serial entrepreneur and an early member of the Bitcoin and Ethereum technical communities. Previously, he worked with Extreme Labs, Mirror Labs, founder and CEO of Fight by Monster, MMO game for children and scaled to millions of users. He also founded several startups such as System 7, AirDocs, and Smart Drives, graduated King's London, first in class in computer science. So here's a little bit about the Dfinity Foundation. But let's talk about what makes Internet Computer unique. And again, a lot of developer talking here. The purpose of the Internet Computer is to extend. That's what we talk about, extending the public internet so it can be the world's computer platform. Today, the internet is a network that connects everybody and everything, but systems and services currently run from private infrastructure. So what they're saying, one of the things that he talked about is that the internet is pretty much controlled by big tech. It's pretty much controlled by Amazon, Microsoft, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft, and I think he mentioned maybe three other companies, for in which the internet pretty much is controlled. And they're trying this, and this is an attempt to take the control out of big tech and put the control of the internet to the people, who would then govern the use and I guess you could say the direction of how the internet is being used. A scientific breakthrough behind the internet computer is chain key technology. So this is the big breakthrough, which encompasses dozens of advanced technologies such as novel consensus, non-interactive distributed key generation, network, nervous system, internet identity, etc. Chain key technology consists on a set of cryptographic protocols that orchestrate the nodes that make up the internet computer. It is one of the fundamental breakthroughs behind the internet computer, enable it to have a single public key. This is a huge advantage because it allows any device, including smartwatches and mobile phones, to verify the authenticity of artifacts from the internet computer. In contrast, this is not possible for traditional blockchains. The single public key is just the tip of the iceberg. So I believe that people rushed into investing into internet computer or buying it or whatever you want to call it because of the possibility of what it will be able to do in the future. But that future, guys, it seems to be a little far away. Hence the reason why when the market started to kind of take a turn into the red, this was probably hit one of the hardest, just because of timing, I guess you could say. Now, what I want to do, I really hope to be able to bring, because hearing it from Dominic is going to make a lot more sense, but I don't know if it's going to play. So we'll see if we can get this thing to play today for you guys. So I believe if you hear him describe it, the founder, then it will maybe make a little bit more sense to you, because I had trouble understanding it myself as I was researching it. But I began to understand as I listened to more and more of, let's just say, of their talks. So it's talking about the world's first frictionless blockchain with web speed and internet scale. So that's important. Web speed, being able to move at the speed of the internet, and to be able to scale like the internet has been able to scale. They do have here a timeline, which we can look at the evolution of the internet. Again, we're talking about evolution, adaptation, newness, where we're headed as a society. But let's see if I can find it. Where did I find it at? See if I can get this. See if I can find this. Oh, here we go. It's down here. Is it down here? Yeah, here we go. Let's see if we can get this thing to work. We're gonna try this out today. So we have this is Bloomberg TV. Let's see if we can get this thing to work for you guys. Let's cross our fingers. I know when I'm streaming and then I try to do something like this, it doesn't always work. Well, hopefully it'll work for us here today. Oh, Lord. If not, then I'll just have to leave the link down there for you guys. You guys can find it. We'll give it a few more seconds, see if it'll load, see if it'll play. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to do it for us. Oh, maybe it is. So Dfinity is the company that's behind Internet Computer. Yeah, I'll just put the link in the comments below. You guys can watch it on your own. Doesn't look like it's going to play for me. No. No. All right. So no, it's not going to work. All right. So no, we had these issues, but anyway, we'll take a look at the evolution of the internet. So I'll try to put this. I'll put this link in the comments below. You guys can go and watch the video yourself. You can come to the website and probably watch these two videos. The internet, as we know it, needs a complete replacement. And then if you think about decentralized, it will also take away from all these ads and all the stuff that you get, your data being sold and all that stuff. That's something that it will prevent as well. I just thought it was. Sometimes I'm just sitting here like baffled just by. Just by the idea. Sometimes just by the idea. At any rate, so let's go up here and look at. I thought this the internet computer in a timeline, the evolution of the internet. So this is. Let's take a look. We can pull this up. So the evolution of the internet. All right, so let's see here. I didn't move anything yet. I guess it scrolls down by itself. So 1962 was the first concept. Licklider creates the concept of intergalactic network, a globally interconnected set of computers through which everyone could easily access data and programs from any site documented in a series of memos. In 1965, ARPA, later known as DARPA, funds Larry Roberts and Thomas Morell to create the first wide area network connection, connecting the TX2 at MIT to the Q32 in Santa Monica through a dedicated telephone line with acoustic couplers. 1969. I guess it was in 1969 somewhere. 1969. The U.S. Department of Defense Advances Research Projects Agency connected 4 computer network nodes at the University of California, Los Angeles, the Stanford Research Institute in Menlo Park, California, University of California, Santa Barbara, and the University of Utah. 1970, creation of ARPANET. 1971, ARPANET begins the year with 14 nodes, including East Coast universities. At the end of the year, ARPANET consists of 19 nodes. 1972, 1973, in the first 10 months of 1972, ARPANET had grown to 29 nodes. In 1973, 30 institutions are connected to ARPANET, ranging from BBN, Xerox PARC, Mitra Corporation, NASA, National Bureau of Standards, and the United States Air Force. 1973, ARPANET goes international. In 1973, DARPA connects 7 computers on 4 islands in Hawaii, and the satellite connection enables linkage to Norway and the United Kingdom. 1974, the birth of TCP. In May of 1974, Bob Kahn and Vint Cerf published a protocol for packet network interconnection. DARPA funds the development and implement of TCP protocol described in the Kahn-Cerf paper. 1977, in 1970, Vint Cerf joins Bob Kahn at DARPA to work at the TCP IP protocols at 61 nodes in 1977. 1977, Cerf and Kahn demonstrate interneting messages go from the van in the Bay Area across the United States of ARPANET, then the University of College London, and back via satellite to Virginia, and back through the ARPANET to the University of South Carolina, proving the applicability of international deployment. 1982, the community grows. As the ARPANET entered its second decade, it was still largely confined to the United States. Academic institutions deepened on federal funding to join the network, so the number of nodes expanded slowly. 1982, 1983, United States Department of Defense declared TCP IP as the standard for all military computing networking. Soon after, a prominent research group at University College London adopts the TCP IP protocol. On January 1st, 1983, ARPANET standardized on the TCP IP protocols already adopted by the DoD, Department of Defense, marking the birth of the modern internet. Woo! Now we get a little history lesson today. 1986, 56 kpbs backbone leads the creation of regional feeder networks such as JCVNet, NiserNet, USURNet, SDSCNet, and BearNet. TCP is available on workstations and PCs, and Ethernet is now wired inside buildings and campuses. 30,000 between 1986 and 1987, 30,000. The number of networks grows from 2,000 to 30,000. 1988, upgrading the backbone internet. Upgrading the backbone to T1 allows internet to become more international with connections to Canada, Denmark, Finland, France, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden. 1988, 1989, Australia, Germany, Israel, Italy, Japan, Mexico, Netherlands, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom join the internet. And we go to 180,000 hosts in November 1989. 1989, at CERN in Switzerland, Tim Berners-Lee creates the World Wide Web, a hypertext system that runs across the internet on different operating systems. So that was in 1989. 1991, rapid expansion of the internet. New countries coming online are Argentina, Austria, Belgium, Brazil, Chile, Greece, India, Ireland, South Korea, Spain. So I want you guys to notice how, I love this, because again, we're going to the domino effect. One domino falls, and then you start to see this adoption from all these different countries over the years for this thing we call the internet. Well, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is happening with cryptocurrency, or you call it Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, blockchain technology? What do you think is going to happen? The same thing that always happens. The dominoes are going to fall. Okay, it always happens. Anything new that comes out that brings benefit to society, typically, especially if the people push for it, dominoes start to fall. 1992, number of computers connected to the internet surpasses 1 million. In 1992, the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign Mosaic is born, which later became Netscape. 1993, AOL.Microsoft CompuServe versus the Internet community. Open versus closed Internet. During this time, several for-profit tech companies such as AOL, CompuServe, and Microsoft attempted to centralize the Internet. Microsoft envisioned a closed system called the Information Superhighway. How many guys remember that? Right? Open versus closed Internet. 1993, in the end, open protocols won, allowing Internet service to be built on open protocols that were controlled by the Internet community. This ensured entrepreneurs and organizations could grow their Internet services without fear of platform risk from big tech. In 2017, you have the Definity Foundation, based in Zurich, aimed to build the Internet computer to extend serverless cloud functionality to the Internet. Wow, look at this. There are many implications to this idea, notably revolving around decentralizing the web and enabling autonomous software, such as an open versions of Facebook, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Salesforce, eBay, etc., and the ability to displace today's $3.9 trillion legacy IT stack. If successful, this will be a powerful paradigm shift in how the Internet operates. Internet computer is one of the most ambitious endeavors in technology, and to accomplish this, Definity has established a large and highly credentialed team of renowned technologists. Wow. And then here we are now. The Internet Computer Protocol is extending the Internet with serverless cloud functionality, enables secure software and a new breed of open Internet services. Internet Computer reimagines software, secure, independent, and simple. So again, I would encourage you guys, if this is something that's interesting to you as you're looking here at, the history, pretty much the history of the Internet. And then they're adding in, ICP is adding in what they're looking to do to add to the evolution of the Internet. I'm starting to see, so many different, again, as we look, we're going to see so many different areas or industries or sectors that are looking to evolve through this thing called blockchain, through this thing called cryptocurrency. Hopefully I can talk to you guys on Friday or tomorrow about what I saw in real estate. I'm just seeing, I can't think of an industry that's not being, disrupted by this thing called blockchain. And my goal is just to introduce you guys, show you guys some stuff. If you find interest in it, you'll do further research or whatever the case may be. If you're a tech person, this probably has more interest to you than other things. But I think that you'll be able to find something that interests you, that you would want to dive further into and research yourself. This is just making you aware, bringing awareness to where the spaces that cryptocurrency is looking to disrupt, in a sense. So I would say I still need to do more research, but I think those videos here from Dominic really helped. Unfortunately, I was unable to play those for us here today. But you can go find those things. You can play those things if you like. And that's what we'll do. So I think tomorrow we're covering Decentraland or Mana. We'll be covering Mana tomorrow. Who knows what news will come out today. But if you learned something today, guys, during our time here on the Black Money and Power shows, we're learning more about crypto. Go ahead and drop some comments in the comments below. Ask any questions that you have. There's some pineapples in the chat if you learned anything as well. Because I don't do this just to do this. Hopefully we're making a difference in your life. We're adding to your knowledge, adding to your exposure as well. And this is what's going on. This is what's going on. I hope that we would, share with our brethren. This is what's happening now. You know what else I found interesting as I read this history? How much of that stuff I was unaware of at the time that they were doing it, right? Obviously, you got to be in that space to be privy to it, but look how far it goes back. And when did I first get introduced to the Internet, and when did our community first get introduced to the Internet? And that's what makes this thing so very, very fascinating to me, because we're at a time and place right now where it's still kind of early, and we can dive into this thing as much as we like. We just saw a domino fall in El Salvador. We'll see other dominoes fall. And I'm just saying, I don't know what you're going to do, but I'm going to put myself in position. Okay. I'm going to put myself in position, and I hope that you would do so as well, if that is a desire of yours. And I imagine it probably is a desire if you're even tuning in to something like this here this morning. Any rate, I'm your host, CRGJ, certified global financial educator. I was going to do my video today, like show my face, but I'll be looking at 2-3 different screens, so I don't really be looking at my camera. So I was gonna look kind of odd. That's why I didn't do my picture thing. But I might do that soon. I just have to. It just makes me, look at one screen, which I don't like to do. But anyway, man, I want you guys. This is our time here today on the Black Money and Power Show. Hopefully, you took something away from today's presentation. We'll be back tomorrow to cover more crypto. We'll be getting into Mana, and we're just gonna. Then next week we'll start looking at those new coins that's being added to Coinbase. We'll take it. We'll learn this stuff one bite at a time, man. This is a lot to digest. And but ask yourself, is it worth studying? Is it worth learning? Is it worth diving into? That's a question that you must ask for yourself. I want you guys to remember this, man. It takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we really need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.